What's up guys, Cliff from the Sunday Drive. Today we're working on this 2016 WRX and we're going to be showing you how to remove the J-pipe. It sucks. So today we're working on this 2016 WRX and you've probably already looked up J-pipe or downpipe installation videos, and there's a few really good ones out there. Grimspeed has a really nice one. Unfortunately, all those videos are showing the process on a pristine, brand new WRX where corrosion has not taken its toll. Up here in the Northeast, corrosion takes its toll for sure. This car has 120,000 miles on it. And if you look at this, I know Pete has some B-roll. This thing is corroded. It sucked to get off. So today we're gonna be showing you how to remove a downpipe that isn't in pristine condition, because this was not fun. So stay tuned. Hopefully some of the things that we learned in doing this will help you out. So we're gonna remove the belly pan. It's held by a whole bunch of push pins. And there's some on the side as well. And there's two 12mm bolts you need to remove. Remove your skid plate. It's held in by four 12mm bolts. We already broke them free with the wrench. Now we're just gonna back them off the rest of the way with the impact. Now, your skid plate should not do this. He ran over something a long time ago and it kind of messed the skid plate up. The skid plate did its job, but it's a little bit twisted on here now, so there's a little bit of tension on these bolts. So you're gonna wanna spray all the bolts down with some PB Blaster. We have the nuts and studs that go into the turbo right there. And then this is the J-pipe all the way back to where we go into the AWE exhaust that we install. We have a video up on that. Now we're gonna disconnect the O2 sensors. The front one is right up here. You're just going to squeeze, and we did have to spend a little bit of time on this to get it out, but you're gonna squeeze the connection's on the top, and then pull that off. So you're just pushing in right there and then pulling off. Now you're going to want to come around on the driver's side of your J-pipe, and the rear O2 sensor is right here. Same type of connection. You're going to squeeze, and again, we already pre-did this so that we can get it off quickly in the video. And you're going to unplug that. Going to undo the grounding strap right here. It's held in by 10mm. Now we're going to remove the heat shield that's right above the downpipe here, and we're going to first disconnect the O2 sensor that's held in by this little clip right here. So we're going to squeeze the clip on the one side and then pry it out. All right, now there's three bolts that hold this heat shield in. The first one we're going to remove is right behind the downpipe here. It's a 14mm. Next bolt we need to remove is right above the heat shield. It's going to be a little difficult to see, but it's easy to feel for, and it's a 12mm. All of these are a bit of a pain to break, so we're breaking some of these off camera. PB Blaster is your friend for sure. All right. The last bolt we need to get is this 14mm right here. You can see that this is pretty corroded. It's not a bad idea to take like a wire brush and brush the bottom of it. But this was really, really hard to break. We ended up getting a swivel head extension on this wrench. I'll bring it down in a second, and we were able to get on it and break it free. Another way to get this would be going from the top. Looking up, it looks like it's a straight shot down, so you can get a whole bunch of extensions, and you should be able to break this free from the top. But we have it now, so we're good. And that's the heat shield. You can see the 3 holes where the bolts were. Now we're gonna remove the front O2 sensor here. We have a 7/8 O2 socket. I'll have that linked in the description. And once again, we broke this off camera because they're tight. And just make sure you keep your O2 sensor separated so you know which one went where. You don't want to mix those up. Now we're going to remove the heat shield around the front of this downpipe to give us a little bit more access to the nuts that hold the downpipe to the turbo. All right, so we got 3 of the 4, but this 4th one up here is just totally destroyed. I don't know if there's gonna be a way to get that one out, unfortunately. So as always with any job, a job can either be quick or easy depending on how the bolts come out, and in this case, how a nut comes out. Here is the heat shield that we just had to remove, and I apologize for not filming this, but it took quite a while to get this out of there, a lot longer than it should have. But here's the 2 outer 10 millimeters that we removed, and here's that inner 10 millimeter. So unfortunately, that one was completely rounded off. You can see on this side, there was just no ridges basically left where the nut used to be. So what we ended up doing was cutting the inner L bracket. So here's one of them. You can see it's bent up a little bit from us removing the heat shield. But this L bracket's not reused, all right? So you're not reusing this heat shield. This is actually part of the downpipe itself. So once this is out of here, you don't need to reuse it. So what we had to do was cut the inner one. We got it mostly cut, and then we were able to pry the rest of it away with a big screwdriver. Once that was broken free, we were able to rotate the entire heat shield around like this, pulling this bottom part down, and then taking the Dremel, we cut the bottom heat shield away from the top one. So you can see right here, there's a little bit of that lower heat shield that's still held in by that nut. So that's where we cut that away. And right here is the rest of that L bracket that we cut. Now, once we had the bottom part cut off, we still had the top part jammed up in here. So what we had to do was get again, a big screwdriver, and we pried it up and over the top and out the front of the downpipe. So basically this was sitting on top. We pried it up, over and out. It's pretty tight in there, but you can pry it out and then pull it out. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna give us a lot more access to that top inner nut that holds the downpipe to your turbo housing. All right, so we started to remove the nuts and studs, and something we found that's really annoying is these are 14 millimeter nuts. This is a 14 millimeter socket. You can see how loose that is. Really annoying that it's so loose. I don't know if it's from corrosion or it's just a poorly designed nut. We tried even standard sockets, and they were either too small or way too large. A 14 is the closest fitting one. A 13 is too small, won't fit on there. You can put an E-Torx on here. However, the E-Torx is also loose fitting. So it's really frustrating that these are so loose fitting. And on top of that, these are extremely corroded, extremely hard to get out of here. So we've been hitting all of these with a map torch for a good like 30 seconds to even a minute on some of these to get them warm enough to break free. We have 3 of them loose right now, the 3 easiest ones to get to, so we're really not looking forward to that inside one. We know that's gonna be a bear. Now, most of the guides that you're gonna see online, it's a pristine undercarriage. They're doing it on kind of a newer car. For most DIYers or second owners of a WRX, this is what you guys are gonna find. So it really, you gotta take your time with it. If you are not careful, you are gonna round these off. We almost rounded off a couple of them, even being as careful as we have been. Make sure you're using a 6-point socket, don't use 12-point. So we're gonna keep working on this, and we'll let you guys know how we get that inside one out, but just take your time, get a map torch. It gets a lot hotter than some of the other options out there. Be very careful though, if you sprayed this stuff down with PB Blaster and you're heating this up, we have gas masks on right now because the fumes are getting really bad in here. You don't want to get sick or anything from burning off these fumes. I'm sure there's some type of carcinogen, so be careful. You also have your belt for the engine right above here. We actually put one of the heat shields back in temporarily to help protect the belt while we're heating things up. But be very careful that you don't damage the belt or anything else in here. Just be very conscientious of what you're heating up and make sure you're in a well-ventilated area and or have some gas masks or something on to protect your lungs while you're doing this. So take your time, guys. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Now, regardless of what you're installing after you take this out, whether it's a new OEM downpipe or an aftermarket one for off-road use. I would highly recommend having new studs. I do know some brands like Grimspeed include new studs and nuts, but I would really not plan on using any of this hardware if you have any type of mileage on this vehicle. Now, this vehicle has been in the Northeast, a lot of salt and corrosion, and has 120,000 miles on it, so I guess not really surprising. You can see here the stud actually gave way first before the nut did. Obviously less corrosion on the inside of the turbo housing, and there you go. So that was fun. All right, quick update for you guys. So all three of the outer ones are broken free. We removed two of them completely, and we left this bottom one here while we started to work on that top inner one, which is by far the hardest. We first tried it with a swivel 14mm 6-point that we had after heating it up for probably a couple minutes. That didn't work. It started to spin, and we rounded the bolt off. Next, we tried to remove the stud. The stud actually snapped off, so it sheared off basically even with the nut. So what we're now trying to do is we cut a slice all the way through that stud and nut, and we're going to remove the bottom left nut that's still up here, and then we're going to try to wiggle the pipe and actually break that nut off, since the nut is completely cut in 2 pieces now, and we're hoping that works. And basically, as soon as you break the nut free, the stud will actually come right out. And we have new studs that are going to go in, so we're just going to keep removing this whole thing. All right, so we have 3 more bolts to remove. We have an exhaust hanger right here towards the middle of your downpipe, and then there are 2 nuts and bolts that hold the downpipe to your midpipe. And my brother's running the AWE exhaust. If you guys want to know how to install that, check out our video down in the description. We have some sound clips of that. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the midpipe from the downpipe. There's a 12mm nut, and it's a 14mm bolt. Despite all my efforts, the other bolt snapped, so you might want to have new ones of these on hand. Yeah, watch my hand. All right, well, you should be able to bring it down. Just one stud still up there, obviously. Okay. Holy cow. Chef owes us multiple lunches and dinners. All right, guys, we got it down. You can see how we had to cut through this stud and nut to get this one off. Basically, we used the leverage of the J-pipe to break the nut free. Now, you want to be really careful that you don't damage this mating surface on your turbo housing, because you want to have a good seal with your new downpipe, so just be really careful of that. One thing you could do is actually use the bracket up here to use that as leverage to pry that off, but what we did is we rotated it down a little bit, and that opened up clearance to bang that nut apart basically with the chisel and hammer. So just take your time. Now we're going to throw some vice grips on there and work that stud out. This is very hot, which is why I'm not touching it right now. All right, guys, so that is the downpipe removed. It is not fun, but we hope this was helpful for you guys in case you run into the same issues that we did. As always, the tools and parts are linked in the description. If you have any comments or questions, throw them down below and we'll do our best to help you out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next time.